It's really strange because on the morning he took his own life, which was a Sunday. He rang me up in the morning and I asked him if he wanted to come for Sunday lunch. Because he's 26, he wanted to go out with his mates and have a good time. At 12 hours later, he took his own life. So I got a phone call about 12:30 in the morning off his dad. His dad had been picked up by the police. The police had knocked him up and he was travelling to the hospital. So I had to make my own way there. I think I went through every single red light. The journey that probably takes 45 minutes took me 10 minutes. I absolutely speeded there. But as his mum, I don't know, I knew I'd already lost him. I just had this feeling. So when we arrived at the hospital, he was on life support. And luckily, they managed to stabilise him. They did get his heartbeat back, but the damage was already done. So he was on life support, and yeah, that's one of them situations. It's surreal. Never in a million years did I ever think I would be in this situation. So we moved him onto a ward. He was in the critical care unit all on his own in this little room, which was great. They put a bed at the side of him so I could actually sleep with him. And also his older sister was in backpacking in Australia, took a year out and was travelling the world. So I did not want to tell her by a phone call. She phoned me on the Monday morning when he was in hospital and I had to just put on this little voice that everything was fine. Unbeknown to her, her friend was on her way to go and get her and bring her home from Australia. It's the last thing I wanted to do was give Danielle a tiny little bit of information and let her come home from hospital all the way in the UK on her own. So yeah, we got her home. She got home 6 hours just before we had to switch his life support machine off, which was her birthday as well, you know, and I did ask, could we just keep him going another day so it wasn't her birthday, but I didn't know he was going to suffer. I didn't know if he was in pain. I didn't know what he was feeling. So we decided, because all this is, whatever they call them, his stats were dipping a little bit, we decided. So he did pass away on her birthday. But we kind of use that, you know. We use it, sibling rivalry, because they were always dead rival. They loved each other to absolute bits. And I say, if that's the last thing he can do to take the mickey out of you, that is it. And that's kind of how we always put a spin on anything, you know. It could drag you under, it could take you down massively, but he's here on my little shoulder every single day thinking, right, I've got a 3-hour drive, I'm going there, then I'm going over there, then I'm going there. It's a massive, massive driver for me to do what I've got to do, and that lived experience. Yeah, so Mentel run a campaign called Turn Your Bar Blue, where we supply over 1,000 pubs nationwide with a promo pack. The most important part of that promo pack is the beer mats. So the beer mats have 12 live quotes running all the way through the pack of beer mats. I know one of the quotes says, "Wow, that is the best night's sleep I've had in a long time." And we place them out for a week, first week of every month, so it's live this week. And it brings 45% of men that find their way to Mentel come just from a beer mat. You've got a good heart and you're doing good things, and your good heart shows to somebody else, and that gives them a little bit of power to talk back to you as well. So we use that tool massively to connect with communities, connect with another mum, connect with a dad, and it works. So off the back of something so tragic and absolutely heartbreakingly desperate, I use that as a massive, I call it my power, my superpower. So yeah.
So what really drives Mentel is lived experience. Many of the facilitators and the people that work for Mentel, like you would have heard in Joe's story, have all had some trouble with their own mental health or that of a family member or friend. And so it's that lived experience that really got the blokes initially to come together, talk about their problems, and obviously know how much help that they can get from it. And that just kind of pushes us to try and get as many people to be aware of Mentel, to know that the support's there, and to know that they're not on their own going through their struggles. So my name's Luke, I'm the Cheshire West lead for Mentel, and I've been facilitating circles for about 6 months now. Recently opened the Chester Circle. So what can you expect during the sessions? You'll be greeted when you arrive, warm welcome, and you will sit in a circle with a bunch of other men that are there for support. And it's a very simple structure. You kind of walk in, take your seat, and we have 2 halves. So the first half, where we use a numbered scale to check in. 1 being not too good, 10 being on top of the world, and it's a very personal scale as well. and then the person with the lowest number gets the opportunity to talk first. If that member's a new member, we wouldn't kind of put that on them first thing. We'd let them kind of see how the circle works, and then they'd get an opportunity to talk maybe in the second half. But each gentleman will get an opportunity to share either what's on the chest, what's weighing them down, but also we celebrate wins as well. We call that topping up the cup, and so we really encourage people to kind of bring their small or their big wins as well as their troubles as well. So on the numbered check-in we use a ball, and this ball is passed around to each man, and that's where they'll kind of declare their check-in. The ball's really powerful, and it signifies where the focus and the attention is of the circle. Sometimes, in social circles or social situations, conversations can get carried away, and we can go down kind of many rabbit holes. And what the ball allows us to do, and the facilitators, is just to refocus that energy back to the person that's talking. And what you'll realise quite quickly is that you're not on your own. Your story, even though it might be different to many of the others in many other men in the circle, there's parts of that story that will resonate with somebody, and that person could take something away from that could actually help them. So it really is a kind of domino effect of support. So why is something like this important? I believe that it's not often we can go somewhere in society and be met with complete non-judgment and complete empathy and complete confidentiality. You can have a great chat with your friends down the pub or in the park or on hikes and things, but this space is really important, and it's designed and co-created in a way where men feel safe to be vulnerable, and I think that's what's really important. The reason I do this work is because I lost my father 10 years ago. He was an alcoholic and he had his own struggle with mental health, which obviously impacted the wider family, but he had no support. He was very much a lone soldier. He did it all on his own, and that pains me quite a lot as I've grown up, and I just don't want any man or any son to lose his father through that kind of process. So to be there and offer support is what really drives me. So what really drives Mentel, and the end goal, is to have every one of our seats in our circles, whether physical or online, and to have that full. Because we know if there's an empty chair there's a man that doesn't know about our service, and it's really important that we spread that awareness and get them seats full. So yeah, finally I'd just like to say, men, it is time to talk. We try to take away the stigma of men being able to open up and be vulnerable. So please do sign up if you need support, come down to a circle and start your journey.